do you come to get all your news? Washington Informer. Where do you come to get all your news? Washington Informer. Where do you come to get all your news?
Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk on WIN TV. I'm your host and publisher of the Washington Informer, Denise Rolark Barnes, and I am so excited to do another show, to have you all here for the broadcast. So thank you for everyone who has joined us today. And if there are folks out there that need to join us, go ahead and send them an invitation right now, because we are beginning the month of June, which is going to be a very busy month. And so we have a lot of exciting programming that's scheduled for this month, a lot of great guests and things that you're going to want to know more about. So come on over to Let's Talk on WIN TV. And so we're going to start this June with observances and special events. There's so much happening in the DMV. For example, next Sunday, June 15th, is Father's Day. Hint, hint, next Sunday, June 15th, is Father's Day. Don't neglect our dads, right? So I know that you all will be running out after this show to go get that Father's Day card. And most dads I know of really want to be left alone on that date. But, let's see what happens. And on June 19th, we celebrate Juneteenth, which is a national holiday, by the way. So there's a lot coming up on Juneteenth, not only here in the nation's capital, but all over the country. Juneteenth festivities. I'm selfish, I have to say. I think April 16th, for those of us in the District of Columbia, that is our celebration. It's our first freed. It's our Emancipation Day. So we have a local holiday, but on Juneteenth now, which is a national holiday, recognizing the last enslaved African Americans Africans in America, in the United States, the last freed in Texas, is observed on June the 19th. So that now is also a national holiday, a day in which we should all observe and celebrate in the ways that we can. So we're going to talk a little bit more about what's happening this month on Juneteenth. June is also Black Men's Mental Health Month, National Homeownership Month, and National Oral Health Month. So it's a lot going on this month, and a lot of it we will be talking about here on Let's Talk. We invite you to join us in our conversations and to discuss all of these events and so much more. Our guest today, to kick us off with June special observances, will include our first segment, which is sponsored by the DC Housing Finance Agency. Tikisha Wilson, who's the director of single family programs, has information about an upcoming Homeownership Fair this month on June the 21st. And we're going to see what she has to share with us as the organization DCHFA helps us to unlock the doors to our dream home. And then next we have Porshia Everett, program director for ANEW, an inspired change organization, and she's here to share a Father's Day event called Rocks ANEW Seed. And I think I said that right, but that's why Porshia's here, so she can give us the details. This event is going to take place on June 12th, and it is a day to acknowledge fathers. And that's not all. We'll be joined by the dynamic Letitia Gasaway-Paul, president of the 2025 Scotland Juneteenth Heritage Festival, set to take place on June 14th through the 19th in Potomac, Maryland. So there's a lot going on here, and we have folks to give us all the details and hopefully invite us to these events so that we can make June a positive and memorable month. So as I said, there are lots of other Juneteenth events happening, and you can find out what they are when you check out things to do in the Washington Informer. But first, let me share, I wanted to actually jump forward here and ask you all before we jump into the program, because I'm going to share a video with you in a few minutes. But I want you to remind you to pick up a copy of this week's Washington Informer. And as you know, I always like to show the print edition. We cannot take our printed edition for granted because, I always say we're almost the only game in town right now. And so we want you to be able to get the Informer in print. We're at over 600 locations throughout the DMV, so you can pick it up on newsstands. But you can also go to our website, WashingtonInformer.com, for the latest updates. And if you prefer receiving your news digitally, consider becoming a subscriber and receive Washington Informer daily news updates from our exclusive Win Daily e-newsletter. So make sure you go online, fill out that. There's a little box that's going to pop up for you so that you can put your email address in there and sign up for our e-newsletter, which comes out every day. And then there are a lot of other exclusive offers that we have. If you're not a subscriber, you missed out on an opportunity to get free tickets for the June 18 Negro Baseball League with Washington celebration. It's a celebration of the Negro leagues that the Washington Nationals are going to have on June 18th. And we gave away tickets for that. I mean, they went like hotcakes. They went in a minute. So you do want to sign up for the newsletter because we have lots of offers that we want to give to our readers to make sure that you can get a chance to enjoy all of the great things that are happening in our nation's capital, particularly from our sponsors and our partners. But anyway, while you're with us today, again, you can get the digital edition. You see it there if you subscribe to Win Daily. But we also want you to share our broadcast on your social media platforms and follow us on ours, including Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, Nextdoor, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And make sure you please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Washington Informer TV, where you can catch up on any Let's Talk episode you might have missed. Our goal is to set up or to get up to 3,000 hours of watch time of Let's Talk videos on YouTube. We only have, 774 more hours to go. That's the same number we had last week.
740 something.
747. Yeah, but that wasn't the same number, Chevy. We've gotten more. You mean it's more? All right. Okay, we only have 747. I don't remember what the number was last week, but I just want to thank you for helping us to reach our goal. This is so important to us. So before we go to our news broadcast, I want to show you a video that we just clipped off of Instagram talking about Juneteenth. That really excited me and will give you something to do on June 19th over here on this side of the river. So let's take a look.
On June 19th, 2025, we walk, not just to remember, but to reclaim.
Did you know the Nacotchtank, also known as the Anacostans, are the first people of this land?
Did you know that Frederick Douglass walked across this bridge to work as the first Black U.S. Marshal?
Did you know that Gardner Bishop, the Anacostia fighting barber, sparked a case that desegregated D.C. schools?
Did you know Dr. Margaret Thomas Williams, the first Black PhD
in geosciences, exposed environmental concerns of the Anacostia River?
Did you know that enslaved ancestors crossed this bridge from Maryland to freedom in 1852?
This bridge has always led to liberation. Now a new chapter rises.
Join the Anacostia Renaissance Collective for the Juneteenth Jubilee Freedom and Unity Walk, connecting both sides of the Anacostia River and Anacostia River East through culture, community, and history.
Anacostia is no longer DC's hidden secret. It's the heart of the Renaissance.
So come, walk for freedom and stay for the joy.
My name is Mignon Hemsley.
And I'm Danielle Doswell.
And we are the owners of Grounded.
Hi, I'm Chef Steve Thomas.
Hi, I'm Amina Thomas.
And we're the owners of Sweet Tooth Cafe and Cakes.
Hi, my name is Anika Hobbs. I am the owner of Nubian Human, also located in Niche by Nubian Human.
Hi, my name is Samantha Abrams, and I'm the proud owner of Sapodillas DC.
I am Ronald Moten, founder of the Go-Go Museum.
My name is Luis Del Valle. I am in historic Anacostia, right beside my big mural
located
right here
in the
heart of
Anacostia.
Well, I don't know if that was the end, but that is right here in the heart of Anacostia. We are so excited on this side of the river about what's happening down what we call downtown Anacostia. And now I think this is exciting to really talk about that historic walk. You know, there's another event that's going to happen that morning, I believe. And we should probably have some folks on next week to talk. Well, it may be too late to talk about that event, which is the actual reenactment of the walk that Frederick Douglass and others took and enslaved people took. They're going to start at the corner of Anacostia, Martin Luther King and Marion Barry Avenue, and make their way to the Anacostia River. It's an amazing event. I think it's going to take place that morning, but read the Washington Informer. We'll make sure that you have that information. We're going to share it with folks. But then later on in the day, or the following day, actually, we're going to join the folks, Ron Moten and others, to do that great walk across the bridge. And I think it's the 11th Street Bridge that they're going to go to. So anyway, I found that on YouTube. Go to the YouTube channel, or we will have been amplifying that, because we want to see you there on June 19th. That's a great way to celebrate Juneteenth here in the nation's capital. Now, let's turn to the news by Curtis Knowles.
This is WIN TV News, bringing you the news that matters. DC leaders cut the ribbon of the new Mammy Peanut Johnson Plaza on Monday afternoon, hoping the transformation of one of the city's most dangerous intersections makes commutes safer. The plaza, which includes 3 new public spaces with greenery and walking paths, caps a year-long project to transform the area that used to be called Dave Thomas Circle. The area became known for traffic backups and confusing twists and turns, with a Wendy's in the middle of it all. The $41 million project features protected bike lanes, reconfigured streets, curb extensions, upgraded signals, and improved lighting and crossing. The director of the District Department of Transportation, Sharon Kirschbaum, commented saying, quote, "These spaces bring beauty and belonging to a place once known for confusion, congestion, and car honking. It was once really a barrier, today serves as a gateway." In an emergency vote Tuesday, the D.C. Council voted to pause the increase of the 10th minimum wage in the city, which would have taken effect July 1st. Initiative 82, which was passed by an overwhelming majority of D.C. voters in 2022, had entailed the raising of the minimum wage of tipped workers, such as restaurant employees or hairstylists, from $10 to $12 in 2025 and up to $17.50 by 2027. However, since Mayor Bowser announced her fiscal 2026 budget would likely repeal Initiative 82 as part of her plan to transform the city's federally dependent economy, critics of the controversial law, including the Restaurant Association Metropolitan of Washington, have voiced their support. On the other side, workers on behalf of One Fair Wage, a nonprofit organization that pushes for restaurant workers to receive living wages, testified Tuesday before the 8-4 vote was held and called the emergency passage, quote, "a backroom attempt to override the will of D.C. voters who have twice backed the elimination of the subminimum wage at the ballot box." Prince George's County State Attorney Aisha Braveboy is claiming victory in the special general election for county executive Tuesday after amassing over 89% of the unofficial vote over Republican Jonathan White. The County Board of Elections hasn't officially called the race, but Braveboy's win positions her to serve as the remaining 2 years of Angela Alsobrooks' term, who stepped down after winning a U.S. Senate seat last November. The acting executive, Tara H. Jackson, opted not to run, clearing the path for Braveboy. At her victory event Tuesday evening, surrounded by state and local leaders, Braveboy made clear she's focused on schools, combating truancy, and growing the tax base for boosting local businesses. Commenting saying, quote, "Everything is possible for our young people. We just have to put them first. And the government must take a lead in ensuring that the businesses in Prince George's County are prioritized."
Thank you, Curtis. Wow. You know, congratulations from the Washington Informer to now possibly County Executive Aisha Braveboy. I'm not sure if she has been certified yet, and we're going to check into that. But clearly, she did an had astounding success in the election. I'm hoping that folks in Prince George's County just turned out like they should have turned out, because voting is essential no matter what election it is. We've got to show up. But congratulations to her. And we are looking forward to having her as a guest real soon here on Let's Talk. So if you have questions or anything that you want us to share with her, please make sure you reach out to us at news, N-E-W-S, at washingtoninformer.com. Send your questions for our interview with State's Attorney, or County Executive-elect Aisha Braveboy. So send your questions, and we certainly look forward to sharing those with her when she comes to join us. So let's move on to our first guest. It is my pleasure to bring on Tikisha Wilson, who is the Director of Single Family Programs, for this sponsored segment by the DC Housing Finance Association to Let's Talk.
This segment is brought to you by DCHFA, your homeownership resource in the district.
All right, Tikisha, how are you?
I'm doing great, Denise. How are you?
I'm fine. It's Friday.
It is. Happy Friday.
Thank you. Yeah, I before we really talk about this special event that's coming up on the 21st, I'd love for you to share a little bit about the mission or the mission of the single family programs there at DCHFA.
Sure. So I will say that the single family department, our mission is to offer down payment assistance and affordable housing to Washingtonians here in the district. We also try to make sure that we couple that with educating the borrower as well, because we don't want to just put someone in a home. We want to make sure that they stay in that home and that they can move forward and sustain the home as well.
Yeah. Are folks knocking your door down?
They are, but that's a good thing. That is a good thing. Because even though we are in a very volatile state right now with interest rates, there's still room to actually move forward and purchase. And so we're just trying to educate our borrowers and let them know that information.
Wonderful. I mean, at some point I might want to bring you on to talk a little bit about, the prediction of the increased amount of foreclosures that, this economy or in this place that we're in right now that they're predicting. I've been reading a lot of articles that are really distressing, and especially at a time when we as a community, and I'm really talking about African Americans, are still trying to get, our piece of the pie, our 40 acres, right? Or in the District of Columbia, our 1/8 of an acre, whatever it takes to buy a home.
I agree 100%. And I'm glad you brought that up because there are a lot of displaced workers in the district, but there's help out there. And we need to be better with putting that information out, because there are a lot of programs that homeowners can leverage in order to move forward staying in their homes.
Wonderful. So I know that we're going to talk about this event that's coming up on June 21st. And as we talk about that, I don't know if some of those services are going to be available to folks, but what is happening on June the 21st?
So June 21st, we're having our annual Homeownership Fair for National Homeownership Month. It will be on June 21st from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Rise Demonstration Center in Southeast DC. And we will have some providers there that can help potential borrowers and current borrowers. Current homeowners as well. So if you are someone that's looking to purchase, this is the event for you. If you are someone who's on the fence, this event is for you. And also, if you already own a home, we have providers there that can talk to you about energy efficiency programs, insurance, sustainability programs as well. So we're using National Homeownership Month as our North Star in order to provide all of those services across the board.
It seems as though your program, really is trying to push folks into, and I shouldn't say push, but just to create greater opportunities, to let people know that there is a path to homeownership in the District of Columbia. So many folks just don't feel like DC is affordable.
Right.
So what do you say to those folks?
So to those folks, I would say come to our event, because that's where the education comes in. Yes, we are in a high cost area, being in the district. However, there are programs that you can stack. We have our flagship program, which is DC Open Doors, and borrowers can leverage that program and pay for the entire down payment of their home. You can also couple our program with other programs out here offered by some of our partners, like DHCD with the HPAP program. We have lenders that will be in attendance as an exhibitor, and a lot of lenders have their own in-house down payment assistance program or closing cost subsidy that they can stack with our program as well in order to make that home more affordable.
I know the Rise Center is a perfect venue for an event like this, but why did you decide to do this east of the river in Ward 8 as opposed to any other area where you could have had this fair?
That's a great question. So last year we had this fair at Gallaudet, and we decided that a lot of our borrowers are in Ward 7 and 8, and so we wanted to make sure that we could be somewhere where a lot of our borrowers or potential borrowers are, and they can access us. We are also having our program simultaneously on the same day as our other partner, DHCD, who's on MLK Avenue as well. They're having their National Homeownership Program from 10 to 2 on that day, and borrowers can register for that event on their website. So any programs or any services needed, you can come to us for credit counseling on that day, for homebuyer education services on that day, and then you can make it an entire day and go over to our partner and find out about TOPA, about heirs property, and other things. So this can be an event in Southeast that everyone can leverage.
For people who, I know that the folks that you will have there are coming, as you say, prepared to serve and to help. For those that come, what should they be prepared to do? Do they need to be prepared with documents, or do they need to be, kind of looking at their credit reports right now? What is it that they should come in with that you just know folks are always going to ask these questions?
Right. And that's a great question. I would just prepare. I would just come prepared to just retain a lot of information. I would bring a notepad because there's a lot of information that will be disseminated. If you're someone that's coming that needs assistance with, like you stated, credit repair, all of our CBOs will be there on site. Our CBOs are equipped with pulling credit.
CBOs are what?
CBOs are community-based organizations.
Okay, all right.
So our community-based organizations that serve the district will be there. And like I stated, they're equipped with pulling credit. If you need credit counseling, if you need to put together a financial budget to see where you are, in the home buying process, they can do that as well. We have lenders and realtors there that will be there as well if they want to speak to some of the lenders to see what type of programs they have, so they can jot that information down. And then they can also speak to a realtor, and start that home buying process. So to be honest, a borrower could essentially come to this fair and leave pre-approved.
And for those that's fantastic. For those who we talked about a little bit earlier, because my heart's going out to people right now who are, like you said, displaced workers, just trying to hold on. Are there folks there that can help them as well?
It is. We will actually have the district's foreclosure prevention specialists from DSB will be on site. The community-based organizations, they actually have foreclosure prevention and services to help mitigate foreclosure as well. So current borrowers who are facing hardships, they should come to this fair as well. This is not just a a fair to help potential borrowers. This is a fair for homeownership as a whole. So we want to make sure, like I stated, that yes, you get in a home, but you can also sustain that home as well.
That is, again, I mean, I think that's good news. I remember when we went through this last economic crisis, you know, a lot of folks were just embarrassed, right? They wouldn't seek help, or they waited too late to go and get the help that they needed. And we certainly don't want that to happen.
Agreed.
Right?
I agree.
So, you know, I don't know if there are stages, you know, if the person has just, you know, gotten that first letter, or they just lost their job and they're just worried about it.
Right. And one thing that I would say is, as a homeowner, if you are having issues, reach out and be transparent with your servicer, because at the end of the day, that servicer or that lender who has your loan, they don't want to foreclose on you. That's just additional cost that they have to pay. So reach out to them first to try to set up or get qualified for some type of modification. And then also come so you can be educated on that process, because the community-based organizations, they're trained in helping you get through that process and not have to do it by yourself.
That's good news. And I also think about our seniors, Tikisha. This folks that have been in their homes for a long time. They're no longer capable of maintaining their homes like they once did. Are there folks there that can provide them with resources as well?
Yes. We have a community-based organization that actually specializes in foreclosure prevention for seniors that may be in a reverse mortgage or just maybe in a hardship, regardless if they're in a reverse mortgage or not. So this is a fair that we want to make sure touches everyone that owns a home.
Yeah, I keep thinking of people. I'm like, but what about again, with that senior, you know, who is living in a home that really doesn't fit their needs anymore, but they want to stay in their home, right? So they need services. They might need extra handrails. They might need something in their bathroom. Are those people?
That's right.
That provide services?
Yes, those people will be there as well. We will also have. We have a provider who provides energy efficiency services as well, because we are aware that, you know, the district has an older home stock, and a lot of the seniors, they want to age in place in their own home,
right?
You know, and as they should be able to.
Well, this sounds like a great event. Lots of information. We certainly hope folks will come out and get access to this free information.
Yes.
Because I assume that the event is free and open to the public. Yeah.
It is free. It is open to the public. If you have not registered yet, please go onto our website at DCHFA.org to register. You can click on the events tab and then scroll down to June 21st and register for the event. We love to have you on the 21st from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Quick question then, because I'm always thinking about these seniors now. If they see this, because we do have a few that watch this show, but they, you know, don't know how to do the website thing. So, or at least the registration. Can you register there?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
You can register there.
Okay.
We will have a table. We will have a table out front in the lobby of the Rise Demonstration Center. So please don't let that hinder you.
And
we do recommend that you register. We do recommend that you register, but if for some reason you can't, please don't let that hinder you from showing up.
Right. I was going to say, it seems like registration would be a good thing anyway, because now you're tapped into the resources
that
you all provide. If, you know, folks are willing to get that information sent to you outside of the mail.
That is correct. I agree.
Great. Okay. Well, this is good. I could ask a zillion trillion questions here, but I think this is good. I don't want to steal the excitement that's going to happen on, again, June 21st. Give us the details.
June 21st from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Rise Demonstration Center in Southeast DC. We will have a credit class. We will have a home buyer education class, and we will have roughly 30 exhibitors from realtors, lenders, community-based organizations, insurance providers. So please come out and join us.
All right. Tikisha Wilson, thank you so very much for being with us today and for sharing this great information. And Washington Informer will be there to cover it. So
wonderful. Looking forward to it.
All right. Have a great day.
Thank you, Denise.
Have a
good one.
All righty.
This segment was brought to you by DCHFA, your home ownership resource in the district.
All right. So let's go to our next guest, Porshia Everett, who is the program director of ANEW, who's going to talk to us about a Father's Day, her 14th annual Father's Day event. Porshia, you there?
Yes, I am.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
I am excited because, I just love, I'm a daddy's girl, and my daddy's no longer with me, but I still, think about how fathers are so important to the family. And so I'm excited that you're doing this Father's Day event and that you're here to tell us about it. So again, tell us a little bit about the organization.
Okay, we are ANEW Inspired Change. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization that provides mentoring, workforce development, as well as job placement here in Prince George's County. And we've been active for 12 years, but we've been providing this service for Father's Day for 14 years. This is our 14th annual Father's Day event.
So what is it that you all are going to do on the 12th of June for fathers?
Okay, we do a lot of work prior to the event, but we have 97 men that have registered for the Father's Day event. They have all been taken to be suited and booted. So they have suits, ties, shoes, so they're all prepared. And this event is a culmination of pampering and services to those fathers in those transitional and supportive housing programs in the state of Maryland and Washington, D.C. as well. Those men will come. We will have massage therapists. We will have barbers there. We will have ready to work attire. 2 former NFL players will be coming to speak with our men, as well as a person who has been impacted by some of the same situations. We'll be speaking into the lives of those men as well on that day. And we'll have a catered meal by F&P Flavor that will consist of what the men have voted on, which is surf and turf, steak and shrimp. So we will pamper them all day on June the 12th and pour into them, reflecting the theme for this year, which is He Rocks ANEW Seed, advising them that anything that you want to manifest in your life or you want to show up in your life, you sow today to reap a harvest tomorrow. And that could be something simple as a kind word or acts or deeds or investment in yourself in terms of education. But this year's theme is He Rocks ANEW Seed, to emphasize the importance of sowing seeds that you want to bear fruit or harvest in your life.
So tell me, how do these men, and are they all fathers? How did you access them? How did they end up being men that you are working with?
Yes, we partner with several transitional and supportive housing programs that provide services such as reentry, recovery. Some are simply homeless shelters that provide housing to the men, and we have them register. And if they're interested, they register. We speak with the different program directors, and we take them in to get their suits, and we talk to them about workforce development, self-esteem, time management, financial literacy, a few things over the months leading up to the event. And they are actively working in treatment, be it behavioral health, mental health, or reentry services. And we simply work on the outside. We assist
But what
them
I'm trying to figure out, Portia, is how are these? Why Father's Day for this event? Are these fathers
Great
or?
question.
Yeah.
Great question. Some of the men, most of the men are fathers, but we have been doing this. I started with National Women's Prison Project 16 years ago. And we would assist in providing these events for mothers. And my husband was instrumental in assisting me in making this happen. And he asked the question, he said, we've been doing this for the women. Why don't you do anything for Father's Day? And I said, I didn't have a response. You're right. And because fathers should be celebrated, fathers should receive the same services, the same pampering. But I think because I was working with National Women's Prison Project, all my services were geared towards women. But what we found is if we provide the services only to the women, those women that are also attached to men. And the same thing with children. If we provide services only to the children, those children are attached to their parents. So pouring into the woman only or pouring into the child only still leaves the family handicapped. So we began looking at ways that we could minister to men that will assist in family development and assist in community development, i.e., we initially started with doing green jobs initiatives for women, but those same women were attached to men who also needed similar services. So from my husband's perspective, he's sewing and he's assisting. He was like, we need to help men. And also a lot of the comments and feedback we got, we would show videos of the services that we were providing, and people would ask, what are you doing for the men? So I can answer profoundly. For the past 14 years, we've been providing the same services. However, I don't get as much participation from men in the community in terms of investing or sowing their time or registering to volunteer. So I am presenting the same challenge back to the men in the community. Women, we turn over our closets with ready to work attire because we change our wardrobe. Men,
Right.
not so much. He might keep his
Yeah.
suit for a long time. So
I get it. I think that your initiative. I think the project is really great. And I do believe that, Father's Day is a day, even if these men aren't fathers, they come from fathers. So,
Yes.
I can make that connection. And so, is there an opportunity for, you mentioned the number of men who have signed up. Is there an opportunity now for any additional men to sign up for the event?
Because we've already taken those men to get suits, we don't have any additional space or capacity to for any additional men to register. We also we put it online as also talk to a lot of different programs about it. But now because we've been doing it so long, they're reaching out to me like in February saying, are you doing a Father's Day event? So when we put it out there for men to register, it normally we've never had this many men. Normally we have about 40 to 50 men, but this year the registration was full in probably about 3 weeks. Registration was completely full, and we put it out there for volunteers because we wanted barbers, we wanted nail technicians, we wanted people to assist them with dress as well.
So how
So
can people sign up if they want to, I guess, volunteer? Are you still, I assume you're still looking for volunteers.
yes, I need some additional barbers. Yes, would
Okay.
love to have
And
some
how
barbers.
do they contact you if they're
On our
interested?
website, newinspiredchange.org, we have a registration link on our events page where people can register, and they can also reach out to us via our social media platforms. We are on Instagram, we're on Facebook, as well as on TikTok, to DM us to let us know that they are interested in volunteering or donating, because as I said, we do need ready to work attire, because I would love for the men to be able to shop and find attire that will be consistent with what we provided them with from a New Inspired Change.
So what is the outcome? Once they come, they're in their suits, they have a great meal. what happens next? I mean, once the day is over?
Once the day is over, I'm hoping, like, we're encouraging them to rock a new seed, that this event and this day will present to them a new seed, a transformational seed that can allow them to see themselves in another light, in another role. Some men are accustomed to wearing suits. Some men, we have to teach them how to tie ties. So the takeaway would be, if they're doing the work on the inside in terms of getting treatment and services to improve their lives as well as improve the community, then we will work on the outside to assist them in looking the part. Because when you look good, you feel good. And
So
that
they're
can then
still right. They come and they're participating in the program, but they're still connected with the I'd say the home-based resources that they have. So you all don't do any further support with them after this is just an event that you all sponsor. Is that correct?
Yes, we do
Okay.
provide additional services. We provide workforce development as well as
I got
job
you.
placement for the
Okay.
men that participate in the program. We also provide mentoring. In our mentoring program, we have a curriculum where we address issues such as self-esteem, financial literacy, um, being time management. We have a quite a long list of things that we talk with and address with the men to assist them not only in obtaining employment, but retaining employment, not only in finding a job, but finding a job with a livable wage so that they will be able to provide for themselves and their families, and encouraging them to get skills as well.
So for those men who come, what are they making a long-term commitment to a
No.
new? Okay.
We're not encouraging a connection in terms of them signing on to a program. We're just simply looking to embrace them and celebrate them on Father's Day the same way that we do the mothers. The add-ons is offered and it's presented to them, and if they decide to participate in additional services, those services are there for them, but there's no requirement for them to continue services with us beyond that point.
Okay. And I'm just curious, I would love to, I don't know if you have sort of a story or something that you can share with us about, maybe you've done this 13 years, any examples of of a man or men you've helped and, who've been impacted by the program.
Yes, I have two impactful stories.
Mhm.
A lot of times the programs really don't make it an option. They really do strongly encourage the men to participate because they see it as a benefit to them, which means that a lot of men that sign up really don't want to be there. So I would say 5 years ago, we had a gentleman there and he kind of sat in the back and he really didn't want to be there, but he participated. But once he put the suit on, he didn't want to take the suit off because he had never seen himself like that. And when I asked them, I said, because when we take them to get fitted, they get the suits and they give them garment bags, the shoes, socks, and the suit to leave. So when it was time to leave, I was like, "Are you gonna go change your clothes?" He was like, "No, I'm not. I'm gonna wear this bag."
Okay.
So that made me laugh because I had never had anybody do that. But I began to talk to him and found out that he had skills, job skills. And I matched him with someone, a mentor, and that mentor mentored him. And then he came back and interviewed for a job. He's been working for me now for 3 years. He does our billing, he does our IT, and he's been a very big proponent to encouraging men that struggle with the disease of alcoholism to invest in themselves, invest in skills. And he's a father. And that was the one thing that attracted me to him because that was the sole reason for him being there was his daughter.
How
and he
long had
made
he
her
been?
the priority.
Wonderful. How long had it been before he last had employment, before he got involved with you
I
all?
want to say prior to coming into the program, it had been 2 years because there had been issues in terms of homelessness and substance abuse prior to that. and he was there because he wanted his daughter. And that was every time I talked to him, I'm doing this. And I was like, I want you to do, I'm happy that you're doing it for your daughter, but I also want you to do it for yourself. So now he's doing it for himself, but he is, I would say, one of my, I champion him as one of my best decisions that I've ever made professionally, because he really has been a benefit to the organization. But I also have another example of a gentleman who came years ago and volunteered at my Father's Day luncheon. And now that gentleman is now a client. When we took them to get the suits, I saw him and he remembered me and I remember him. And he had gotten sick, and upon getting sick, it put him in a position where he lost his employment and his housing, and now he has to start over. And seeing him was just an inspiration to me to assist people, not only the clients we serve, but also our volunteers, that at any day, situations and circumstances can change and people can find themselves not necessarily due to anything that they've done negligently or poor decision, but even if it is, we all deserve a second chance. And we're here
Well, I think
to inspire that.
that's a great point to end on. We all deserve a second chance. So I want to thank you so much for bringing, this initiative, this project or program that you have introduced and are providing to the community. I'm assuming that it's not an open invitation. This is just something you're sharing with us that folks need to know about, but it's not like folks can come, correct?
Absolutely. Okay. The people who have we're connected to programs, so we can have the follow on and then do the outcomes and measurable things of that nature after the event. But I'm so thankful that you've had us on, because we do need community support. It is a important.
Speaking of that, who are some of your sponsors? I mean, you talk, and we're running over time, but I mean, you're getting these suits. You said you had to pay for the suits, but who are some of your supporters?
Our sponsors are WellPoint is a sponsor. Wegmans. We also partner with Success and Style. The cost is minimal to do what we do, but Success and Style, they treat the men with the utmost respect and ensure that everybody is suited to size, not from the head to the toe, even including socks. So we have Liberty Christian Church, we have F&P Flavor, Gin Cans. We have a lot of small community support and some corporate assistance as well that I don't want to minimize, and I don't want to call everybody's name because I don't want to miss anybody's name.
Right. Well, I thought it's always good to talk about your
Jersey Mike.
Okay, all right.
Yes,
so
Jersey Mike this year is our first.
If we do this, if we see you again next year, we certainly would love to see some of those men in their suits. So
I'll send you a video next week.
Okay. All right. Yes. Okay. We'd love. Okay. All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Thank you so much for being with us. The program is ANEW. Is that an acronym for something?
Our program name is A New Inspired Change.
A New Inspired Change. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a great event.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a blessed day as well.
You too. All right. Well, we did run over, but we still have time. And we're ready to talk to Letitia Gasaway-Paul, who's the president of the 2025 Scotland Juneteenth Heritage Festival. Letitia, are you there? How are you?
How are you?
I'm well. So I understand we have a little video to see. So we're going to take a look at that and I'll be right back with you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Okie doke.
I'm so honored to join all of you gathered this week to celebrate the 2025 Scotland Juneteenth Heritage Festival. The story of the Scotland community is a story of pride and perseverance, of steadfastness and strength. As one of the DC area's first settlements founded by formerly enslaved individuals, Scotland has produced generations of leaders and shown what the true spirit of community looks like. In good times and bad, its residents stand up and show up for one another and for what you share. This has never been more evident than in the aftermath of the 2019 flood that damaged the Scotland AME Zion Church, when the community rallied together to restore this important hub built by the hands of your ancestors. And I'm glad that proceeds from the festival will go to support the church, as well as other organizations doing good work across Montgomery County. I want to thank Letitia Gassaway-Pole, the Scotland Juneteenth Foundation, and everyone making this week-long celebration of Black history and heritage possible. Juneteenth is not only a remembrance, but a reminder that the journey toward freedom, equality, and justice requires our constant vigilance. We all have to do our part, and I'm grateful to all of you for your efforts and your example. All my best wishes for a wonderful and successful festival.
So Letitia, your time is up. President Clinton took up all your time. So no, I'm just kidding.
He did a wonderful job.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. So you are the president of the Scotland 2025 Scotland Juneteenth Heritage Festival. Tell us, I mean, folks may have read the article in the Informer, but tell us a little bit about the celebration and why it was established.
Exactly what it is. It's a celebration. It was established to help bring awareness to Scotland AME Zion Church and the Scotland community. It's a fundraiser. And we raised funds with the Second Century Project because of the flood that we had. But the doors of the Scotland AME Zion Church are now open, and we're still having the Scotland Juneteenth Heritage Festival. It's a fundraiser, so we support the Scotland AME Zion Church to keep that uplift, and along with other nonprofit organizations that support the Black community in Montgomery County.
Thank you. Okay, that was part of what I wanted to know, because I know a lot of people may have known about what happened, but I want you to kind of give us a little history here, because I'm not able to provide it at this point, but you're here, so you can do that. Tell us, about the Scotland AME Church, its legacy, historical legacy, and actually what happened.
Well, Scotland AME Zion Church, where everybody is somebody and Jesus Christ is Lord. So Scotland AME Zion Church was established in 1905, and then my ancestors built it by hand in 1924. But what happened was,
and this is in Montgomery County. What part
this
of
Montgomery? This is Montgomery County, Maryland, and up in Potomac.
In Potomac, okay.
Potomac. So, and what happened was a road was moved, and it caused a flood when rain hit the road. That backfired into the basement of our church, and it caused a flood. Now, my church was there before this road, so that's a whole nother a long story, and we won't get into all of that today. However, we fixed a lot of things. We have a long way to go, but it caused a flood, and because of the flood, we were not able to go into our church, and we had to raise money to get back and restore it, is what we did. It was a 3-phase project. And like I said, and this year we were able to go back into our church, and it took the community. It took the interfaith community. It took the nonprofits unified. It took the leadership of our pastor, Reverend Dr. Evelina Huggins, and the Scotland community, and everyone coming together to say, we can do this and together. And that's why we created the Scotland Juneteenth Heritage Festival, is to educate and uplift and embrace the community and raise money and the funds for the church.
How did this come to the attention of President Clinton, the former President Clinton? How did he get engaged?
Because I called him up and I said, listen, sir, I need some help.
Right.
It was a lot of connections. I would like to thank Mr. Frake Islam. He is one of our advocates and supporters that helped put us in contact with President Clinton and bring awareness about Scotland AME Zion Church and the Scotland community. And those connections, like I said, it was a lot of advocating to get us where we are, and those were the connections that were made.
And your family is from the area. We did, the Washington Informer Charities did our annual African American Heritage Tour to Montgomery County, and I'm thinking we came to the area.
Yes.
But, a lot of folks don't know about the history of the Black community in Montgomery County. And
Mhm.
so how many generations did your family go back?
I am fifth generation descendant. So my great great grandfather, William Dove, was one of the first to purchase land in Montgomery County. Montgomery County, as we know, was once rooted in racism. And I can proudly say today that we've come a long way from that. We have county council members that have helped support not only the Scotland AME Zion Church and the Scotland community, but the other remaining Black communities throughout Montgomery County. There was once 80 historical Black communities in Montgomery County, and there's less than 10. So that's what brings us with the Scotland Juneteenth Heritage Festival. With the recipients, we always make sure we're giving back to the Black historical communities. Last year, we gave $5,000 to Emory Grove. This year, we have Agape AME Zion Church and the Sandy Springs Slave Museum. And that's the importance of making sure we educate and we unite and recognize and say, hey, I'm here. I hear your story. We're walking this path together. And that's why we have the festival and the community and my grandfather. And I always say he did the hard work. What we're doing is easy. He purchased the acreage for the 36 acres of land for $210, right? In 1880. This is 2025. So the work that we're doing here, this is light work. This is easy work. However, it is work that we must continue to do. It's important work.
Well, you know, we when you talk about Sandy Springs Slave Museum, that's one of the destinations that we visited while we were in Montgomery County. And I know that donation that you're going to give to them is desperately needed, but also will help to sustain them. And so I love the idea of what you all are doing. So tell us about the festival.
Well, we are the largest running festival in the DMV area, and we actually have expanded. So we start on June 14th, and we start with opening night. And this year, we're excited. We have Erica Campbell, and we have Howard University Gospel Choir that's going to be singing. And we also have Step Africa that's going to be attended as well.
Nice.
Yes. And then we have June 15th, and that is our interfaith brunch service. And we have the Scotland AME Zion Choir that's going to be singing. And then we have June 16th, and that is our Commander Chair Clinic. We have the Commander Force Squad that's going to be coming out. And then there is June 17th, and that's the basketball clinic. And I always say that's the legendary, my cousin himself, Eric Smith, that's going to be helping with that. And we have June 18th, which is the football clinic. And we have Joseph Hooks and Coach Joe R. from Churchill High School and the 480 Club that's going to be running and organizing that clinic. And then it all goes down on June 19th. And I get excited. I mean, I got chills up my body because I know how far we've come. I know where we're going. But on June 19th, the games begin at 8 o'clock in the morning. We start the day off with 5K and the family walk. And then you can walk your way up to the Cabin John Village. And at the Cabin John Village, we have the health and wellness, we have social action pavilion. But I'm really excited this year because we have CHOP champion Sammy Davis Jr. that's going to be a part of the Taste of Juneteenth at the Cabin John Village. And then you can walk your way on over to Scotland AME Zion Church, and we have Unity Through Community. We have the Montgomery County Black Historical Exhibition that's going to take place there, and that all of the Black communities are going to be recognized at Scotland AME Zion Church. And like I said, my job is to make sure that we remember. My job is to make sure that we educate. Juneteenth is a day; it's a celebration, yes, but we have a lot to recognize. What exactly are we celebrating? So that's the importance of that. And then you can head on over to the Cabin John Village, and we have the camel at the carnival, and there's possibly going to be a kangaroo. So you have to come and see and what's going to happen there. And at 2 o'clock, the parade, the Juneteenth parade, is going to take place, and that's exciting. But we're going to close out the evening with the fireworks. We're going to make history again. We're going to illuminate the sky. We're going to shoot the fireworks, boom, 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 at 9 o'clock p.m. And it's a family event. We're going to tailgate. We have Ricky Platinum from 93.9. He's going to be DJing over in that area. Come on out. Come celebrate with us. But I will tell you, Miss Denise, today we have a special code for our listeners. If you go to juneteenth.org, and you can have a discount code, and it's Informer for tickets today. So all of our listeners today is a special dedication for the listeners today. Go to Eventbrite, go to Juneteenth.org, and on Eventbrite, Informer, and you can put in that special code.
Oh, that's fantastic. You all have a lot. I mean, this has taken a lot. You didn't just throw this together. This is a great program. Now, I mean, have you done this every year on Juneteenth?
So this is our third year having the festival, but I will say it's been 5 years since we've been doing Juneteenth with Scotland. So before it became the festival, it started what we like to say at the land in Scotland. The HOA, the community would come out. So we've been doing this, but we started this before the flood. Once the flood came, we knew that we needed to make this broader, and we need to expand and say, roll up your sleeves. My God, we have work to do. We're going to serve with purpose and praise His holy name. He's never felt us yet. After all these years, God still heals, and here we are.
And is there any connection, I'm curious, between, let's say, the Juneteenth holiday itself,
yes,
and the church or the community? I mean, I'm wondering if there are dates that sort of coincide.
So June 19th is the day that we're celebrating, because as we know that we have our 250,000 kings and queens that were freed on this day. So we want to make sure we educate and take recognition to that. And I always say, each one, reach someone, teach one. If we don't tell our children our history, then who will? And we have a responsibility to do that. And so that's why Unity Through Community inside the Scotland AME Zion Church, we have that educational portion that's shared there about Juneteenth, recognizing and why we celebrate this holiday. And as you know, we have some that's trying to wipe away this holiday and wipe away Black history. And we're standing on solid rock. I stand, all other ground is sinking sand. So I want to make sure that we're continuing to uphold that bloodstained banner, and we're going to do that.
So Letitia, you are following in the footsteps of your ancestors, 5th generation.
Yes, ma'am.
And you sound like you got a lot of energy to keep this thing going for a while. But are there other families, or are there other the next generation? How are they participating in this?
Well, we like to hold everyone accountable. And let me first say, when I say we, I mean my sisters. They're not here with me right now, but I have 2 sisters who are rock stars. It's Teresa Gasaway Gleaton and Latrice Gasaway Johnson, and we're all in this together. So we like to hold everyone accountable, and we'll call everyone up, the generations before us and the generations behind, and say, we have work to do. And it takes a village. It takes the sponsorships. I would like to mention the sponsorships. A few is Glenstone Museum, Montgomery Parks, Cabin John Village, Whiting Turner, Fort Bright Bank, and Minds of Motion Child Care at the community, Unity Through Community. And it just truly takes a village, but it takes my team. We spend hours and hours, a whole year of preparation for this week.
Well, I can tell, and
Yes.
You've got a lot that's happening, and I'm just so glad that you were here to share this with us. It sounds, I mean, I'm excited. I'm ready to run up there now. I'll run to Montgomery County. I'm supposed to drive. But and I probably get there by the by the 14th.
Yes, that's all right. We're here for it all. Listen, at the end of the day, there's something for everyone. There truly is something. And that's why we start on June 14th and we finish all the way on June 19th. There's something for everyone. And I don't want finances to ever be a reason to why someone can't participate. So we go onto the website. You can contact me if you need to reach me in any way. I want everyone to come out and see Erica Campbell. Everyone should come out and see Howard University. Everyone should come out and see Step Africa. This is our history. We are Black history, and that's the importance of it. I'm saying I need the help. I want everyone to come out to make sure we are on the right path. Please come and join us.
Wonderful. Letitia Gasaway Paul, president of the 2025 Scotland Juneteenth Heritage Festival. Thank you so very much for being with us and for this gracious invitation for all of us to come and join you June 14th through the 17th in Potomac, Maryland. And did we put a website up? I think we did. Yeah, we want to
Yes,
make sure we got the
June
website there.
14th through 17th, but on June 19th, it all goes down. Don't forget
Okay.
June 19th.
All right.
Yes.
I forgot the date. Oh, already. Sorry about that.
It's all right. I'm here for it all. Thank you.
All right, Letitia. Thank you so very
Have
much
a
for
good
being
one.
with us. Have a
Take
great
care.
weekend.
You
All
too.
right. So, folks, we want to thank you for joining us today on Let's Talk. We want to thank our sponsor, DC Housing Finance Agency, and Tikisha Wilson for inviting us to the Homeownership Fair that's going to take place next weekend. Porshia Everett and Letitia Gasaway Paul, also who joined us today. And to our viewers, thank you for watching Let's Talk, where the conversation never stops. Before we go, because we are over a little bit, we have, I don't know if we have a brief video, but we'd love to show you our photos of the week. So you'll see those. And until next week, have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week at noon.